This is our chicharrone or pork skin, fried pork skin video. We've tried a lot of things to find what to do with pork skin, haven't really found the right thing. This is a labor-intensive recipe, but it is worth it at the end. You can see Cole taking the skin off the pieces of pork. It looks like that until we boil it, and then it looks like that. So this has been boiled for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Really what you're looking for is just to be able to poke through the skin just like that. You want it to hold its shape when you hold it up. You want to easily be able to just pierce it. You want it to be tender. So then I'm going to cut it up into pieces like this, kind of longer strips. That's what I'm looking for. I'm trying to remove all the fat here. I'm just going to scrape it, and it's been cooked enough to where all the fat is just going to scrape right off of the skin like that, just like that. Makes it pretty easy, so easy I can do it with one hand. And you can just cut them into kind of bigger chunks and then separate them from the fat. Then later you're going to cut those into smaller pieces, and we're going to dehydrate them later too, but for now we're just scraping all the fat off. This is a long and annoying process. There's not much really to do with that fat, you just got to eat the cost of it. Okay, after everything's been kind of cut up a little bit, we're cutting them into these little strips here from those that have been scraped already. Just kind of, again, we're doing it with one hand here. Just cutting into the little kind of 1 inch by 1 inch-ish type pieces. They all don't need to be exactly alike. I kind of like it if they look a little bit different or a little bit different sizes. They're all going to fry out to be the same in the end anyway. So then everything is going to be, all these little square rectangle pieces are going to go into the dehydrator. This is just a stackable dehydrator. We make beef jerky in this, but most often we use it for these pork skins. And you can fit a lot onto all these little trays here. This is a couple different dehydrators that we had over the years, all kind of stacked up into one. Like some of them lost their grate, some of them didn't. We're leaving it on 160 overnight. We're just going to dehydrate these overnight, 160 degrees. And as soon as I come back the very next day, they're all nice and dried out. They've shrunk up a little bit. They've given up a little bit of fat, but they are nice and hard. Tap, 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 a little hard. So these have been boiled, scraped, cut, and then now dehydrated. The next step is we're going to fry them up. I got all these. I cleaned up the dehydrator, the most annoying kitchen appliance in the world to clean. So I got this pork lard in this little pot going right here. Why not? We're making fried pork skin. What else would we fry it in besides pork lard? Okay, we're nice and hot here, 375, 400. I want to start pretty high here, and as we add the pork skins, the oil's going to go down a little bit, or the fat's going to go down a little bit. Just want to show you these first ones and test the fat to see how we're frying up. You can tell that they don't take much time at all. They go into the pork lard, and then it doesn't seem like much is going on, but then boom, they start to puff up. And they're just going to puff up like that. They grow in size. Real key here is to make sure that all of the piece is puffed. You can see a few pieces in there that are not quite fully puffed yet, and then those are going to be really hard to chew. You can break your teeth on them. That's not really good. They're just going to be that dehydrated, really hard piece of pork skin. So you want to make sure they're all puffed. It's really going to introduce some air in there. They're going to be fried out nice and light and crispy and really delicious, and not all hard and chewy. So I just am evacuating them to a bus tub that has some paper towels to kind of drain some of the grease away, and then we're going to add more in there, and those are going to start frying up right away. Checking my oil periodically, checking my fat periodically to see what the temperature is. I'm putting a little bit of a crawfish boil seasoning on them. I just kind of had this seasoning on the shelf, and when we make these we can go a couple different ways with the flavor profile. We like to put some ranch powder on them sometimes, or if we do the Cajun flavor profile, we call them, I think, Cajun fried pork skins, or if we do Mexican kind of flavor profile on maybe some tahini, we can call them chicharrones. So it's all just fried, crispy pork skin. It's all the good stuff. Yeah, this is the finished product. After they've all been fried up, you can hear it. Hear that crackling? But these are good to go for a few services. They'll stay nice and crispy. we'll just serve them up by the bag, like a bag of potato chips.
Mmm.